Hey everybody, Sean from Buckeye Wedding Expo here. We are going to be talking with Mary from Childers Photography today on getting ready and things that you can do to eliminate stress on your wedding day. So stay tuned. Mary, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Sean. Thanks for having me today.
I'm so glad to have you. We were just talking offline, and Mary and I are, how long we been in the industry together? Are we allowed to say that?
It's a long time.
Well, experience has given you the ability to pass along some good information to our couples. And so we're going to be talking about that a little bit later. But first, tell me more about yourself. I already know everything, obviously, but tell everyone more about you and Children's Photography.
I have been a photographer literally since high school. Worked my very first wedding with my high school photography teacher, and I've been doing events ever since. So I've been doing event photography literally my whole adult life. I've been here in the Dayton area with Childers since after high school. And and I did recently just take over Childers Photography from Chuck Childers, who started it in the late 80s. He suddenly had passed away several years ago. And so his family has been gracious enough to let me keep the doors open, letting me keep the Childers name since I've been working with it for so long. And so here we are today.
Yeah, it's funny. When I said that out loud, I actually thought Chuck would have never wanted me to say how long we've been doing this. He always hated that.
No, he would not. He would not.
So, how do photography is one of those things where the eye is important and the talent of editing is important. How do you explain like your style, if you will? I know that's a cliche thing, but what's your style or how do you take photos?
My style is very much the editing part of the style is very true to color. Our bride and grooms have spent a lot of time, our couples spend an enormous amount of time picking their colors, picking their swatches, making sure that everything matches beautifully from their flowers to their napkins. And so when I edit the photos, I want to make sure that that color looks exactly like what they picked and what they saw when they walked into their reception hall and they saw all the beautiful napkins. And that way, when they see their photographs, they don't have to guess what color did I have my napkins, or if they see, so that other couples, when they see pictures of them holding their bouquet, they don't have to guess what flowers were in that bouquet. The florist, they can take that picture to any florist and say, this is what I want, and the florist will immediately know, I know exactly what that flower is, I know what season it's going to be in. So the florists don't have to guess what's in that bouquet, because there are a lot of different editing styles, and every time you shift it, it changes the perspective, it changes the color of things, which then makes it kind of unrecognizable.
So more of capturing the moment, obviously making that good because I mean your photographs are very polished and the fact that when I look at something, sometimes I go, it's more beautiful than I remember it being. So and that's why probably just the angles and stuff like that. When it comes to capturing emotion, how do you know and what's your eye on capturing that unscripted kiss or that things like that?
That's where the experience comes in, is where you can anticipate where those emotional moments are going to be. Like, I know after having done weddings my whole life that as soon as the bride and groom come down that aisle and after they've walked past that very last guest, that they're going to have a moment because they feel like nobody else is watching them, and that's where there's going to be a really emotional moment happen. So it's just a matter of being able to be in the right place at the right time, and having done it for so long, you can anticipate those things.
And there's a reason why when I step in front of you, you can just put your camera down for a second, and as I pass over, so we're like, sorry.
Yeah.
When it comes to shooting the day of, do you sit down? How does that work with the client as far as like, right behind you have a beautiful like sunset photo. And I know some of these things, you plan the best you can, but do you sit down and do like a set list, or how does that work with you and Childers?
I have a checklist that I email out to all my couples prior to the wedding, months before. I get it to them probably about 6 months to 4 months out, so that they can start taking a look at it. And it just lets me know who it has. Like, I have them list out their bridal party, so I can call people by name, their families, their immediate families, parents, siblings. And then it does have questions. Do you want extended families? And then I ask them for which side the extended families are. Once they submit that to me, I have a good idea. Okay, I already know what I'm going to photograph, and I just kind of coordinate things throughout the day. I give all of my couples, based on that checklist, a detailed timeline based on grouping, so that they can then give all of those people who they've requested photographs a timeline of when they're going to be needed. And usually, most of the time, it happens without a hitch. Sometimes things don't quite go as planned, and I pivot, and we just kind of go with the flow and get things when we can.
Well,
but my couples don't have to make a shot list. They don't have to go to Pixieset or Pinterest or any Google or anything like that. And they don't have to say, I want me with my mom. I want me with my dad. I want me with my bridesmaids. I'm already going to do it. It's already given. I tell all of my couples that when they've looked at my samples, I tell them everything you see in my sample book, you're going to get that in some way, shape, or form on your wedding day. And then it's just a matter of planning out a time to get it ahead of time.
Well, I was going to say something about your flexibility. One of the reasons that we love working with Childers is flexibility. I thank you for being organized, type A myself. But when it comes to being flexible on the day of, it's super important. And you've always shown, that's always one of the things that stood out is if we've come to you and say we need more time, less time, you've always accommodated. So, and captured the great photos. And that's the best of both worlds.
Yeah. And you have to. And that's one of the things about experience. You have to be able to go with the flow. A wedding is a one-shot deal. I mean, there are no do-overs. So if it's raining, it's raining. You got to figure out a way to get beautiful photographs in a very limited time, in a very limited amount of space. Because once it's raining and you're stuck inside or you're stuck under an awning, there's nowhere to go. Most couples are not going to want to get wet prior to their ceremony. Now, there are a few that don't care and that will step out into the rain, and that's great. I'm happy to do it. Most couples are not going to do that. And so you have to be able to work very quickly with a lot of chaos behind you, because you can't stop the chaos. The chaos is going to keep coming, and you got to know how to go with it and embrace it. Embrace the chaos so that you don't stress about the chaos.
You can't stop the chaos. That's a quote right there. But
the quote of the day.
You can help stop the chaos if you have things ready ahead of time. And that's one of the things that we wanted to share with everybody today was you had mentioned getting ready and preparing things so you can help things move along. And so go ahead and share with everyone your tips of how things are going to work.
So for the getting ready, it is, to save time, to save your sanity, especially for ladies. If you don't wear fake nails regularly, which I do not, I literally put these on today for demonstration purposes because I don't ever wear them. Can't really operate a camera with them. Can't type on a computer with them. But they look good in photos. They look
fantastic right
shots. Now. They make beautiful ring photographs, when I'm photographing hands and rings, beautiful for photos, not functional one bit. So if you have jewelry, ladies, especially the necklaces with those really fine chains, those little tiny paper tags that come on these necklaces, take those off prior to getting your nails put on. Weeks in advance prior to your wedding. Remove all the tags from all your jewelry, from your wedding dress, from your veil, from the bridesmaids' dresses. Trying to remove all of those tags amongst trying to get ready, looking for a pair of scissors to be able to take all those tags off while you're getting your hair and makeup done is just one more stress you don't need. You don't need to be looking for scissors while trying to have your hair done. The tags on the dress and veil need to be off your garments before I can photograph them. Because, to remove it in Photoshop is not as easy as people think. It's getting easier, but it's not always as easy. But you can't return your dress anyway. So as soon as you bring it home, take it off. Take the tags off. A simple task of trying to get your earrings out of a box with your fake nails is insane. It can be extremely difficult. And then even just removing that silly little back off of your earring, ladies. If you don't wear fake nails, this is a chore. This is an absolute nightmare. And then trying to get that on your ear. If you cannot do that with fake nails, ladies, practice ahead of time, or practice having somebody else put your earring in so that you don't have to. And then if you can't the day of, don't worry, I've got your back. I've got you covered because I will not have these on, and I'm happy to lend a hand, and I will help you put your earrings on. I have done it before, done it countless times. I will be there to help you your earrings on and your necklace on if there's nobody else available, because everybody will have fake nails on that day.
Well, we also talked about sometimes the nails have like I'm sorry, I'm not familiar. What did you say they were called?
They have little jewels.
Jewels.
They have little
Yeah.
jewels on the nails. Little jewels that tend to get caught in things, get caught on your dress, get caught on your hair. Yes.
So that's yet another reason why you should prepare everything ahead of time before you get all done up.
Yes. And the tags especially. I mean, those are just an absolute nightmare. I mean, I've seen so many brides and bridesmaids almost have meltdowns because they cannot figure out how to get that silly little tag off, and then they can't find the scissors, and they don't know where stuff is, and then they start stressing out. And then once you start to stress out, that stress just builds. It's just like a snowball. Every little thing after that just adds to it and adds to it and adds to it. And it's hard to step back from that. But I'll help you. I will help you step back. I'll help you sit down, take a breath. Here's a drink. I got you covered. I usually have scissors in my camera bag if somebody from the previous wedding hasn't snagged them, which happens. Which happens because, again, it's busyness of the day. Yeah.
One of the other things that we talked about was taking things and having them ready for you, right? Again, preparing things so it relieves some of the stress of the day or the busyness of the day. What are the recommendations as far as that goes, as far as preparing everything for your photographer?
So one of the things we'll talk about ahead of time is, do you want what they call a lay flat photograph, which is essentially your earrings, your jewelry, your perfume, your invitation, your shoes, all those little bitsy things that you use that day of, just as a remembrance. Once you have all the tags off, if you want that photograph, put them all in a box, put them all in a bag. Doesn't have to be a fancy bag, can be an Aldi bag, can be a plastic Kroger bag, can be the shoe box with your shoes in it. So that way you have it already all bundled up. So when I arrive on site, I can say, hey, do you have that box? Or where can I find that box? Because most likely you're still going to be in the makeup chair at that time, still getting finishing touches. Sometimes you're just getting started and there's not a lot I can photograph when you're just getting started. So I'll go and I'll take that box, get it all photographed, come back, and then you'll be ready for your pictures of your getting ready photos.
That's good advice. That's very good advice. And how do we determine who or what is photographed? Like, is there, you said you would talk ahead of time. We kind of go over all the details of things that could be photographed, or, or probably
I
at that
do.
point you collect, like, we have a very special, like, flask or something like that. You probably do that ahead of time.
It's a conversation I have with my couples ahead of time to make sure that, these are things that I have photographed before. These are things that you don't have to have. So when I mention things like, are they going to have a flask? Are they going to have a gift that they're going to give each other? Are they going to have a gift that they're going to give to their bridal party? And I stress to all my couples, just because I'm mentioning something, do not feel you have to do it. Because it could go so many different ways. If you have a momentum, piece of memory from like a grandparent's handkerchief, or a brooch from a grandma, or something from a loved one that is very near and dear to you, those things are always wonderful to bring, so that they're part of your day as well. But they're not mandatory. You do not have to have it. You don't have to do it at all. And so it's always optional, but I do give my clients kind of an idea of things that they can have if they want them.
Well, Mary, I could talk to you all day, but unfortunately we have ran out of time. So it's time for your soundbite. So Mary is going to share just a 30 seconds kind of synopsis, if you will, of the things that you recommend. So Mary, take it away.
So my biggest recommendation is remove all of your tags prior to your wedding, at least 30 days out. Make sure that they're all gone, all hidden, and then put everything that you do want photographed, which we would discuss ahead of time, in a box. Anything that you want done that's a stationary item, jewelry, invitation, put it in a little box or a bag so that's easily found by your photographer. And those are my quick tips for today.
Well, thank you so much. This has been wonderful. Again, I could talk to you all day, Mary. We've worked together for so long. It's always a pleasure. And I can't wait to hang out again at the Buckeye Wedding Expo, 21st and 22nd at the Dayton Arcade.
It's been my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Sean.